Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the main news on Camnet TV, coming to you live on Topstar, channel 106, on Kenstream app, Facebook, Camnet TV, and on YouTube, Camnet TV. Here are the top stories making headlines in our news tonight. Former ZSIC employees still in limbo, as not even a penny of their dues has been paid. No more pro bono services. Resident doctors threaten to down tools. Economist says BO's holding policy rate aimed at testing economic stability. In international news, South African woman sentenced to life for trafficking her 6-year-old daughter. And in sports news, Copper Queens captain Barbara BANDA eager for COSAFA challenge. Do join me with the details shortly after this break.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Television, not just another channel.
With the news in detail, my name is Sylvia Zulu. More than 3 decades after retiring, over 1,000 former employees of the Zambia State Insurance Corporation, ZSIC Life Insurance Limited, are still waiting for their terminal benefits. Despite a Supreme Court ruling in their favor nearly 20 years ago, the retirees say they have not received a single kwacha.
These are among the more than 1,000 retirees of the Zambia State Insurance Corporation, ZSIC Life Insurance, who left service in 1991 and are still fighting to be paid their retirement benefits. After their retirement, the former employees waited expectantly for their dues to be paid, but the payment never came. In a bid to seek justice, they took legal action, and in 2005, the Supreme Court ruled in their favor, ordering ZSIC Life Insurance to pay them 34 billion kwacha and rebates. Following this judgment, the retirees alleged that the lawyer representing them at the time mysteriously reduced their payment to 182 million kwacha and rebates. They suspect that their lawyer made a deal with ZSIC Life Insurance at their expense, but to his advantage, a situation they say halted the payment.
For the 34 billion to be paid as per lawyer's write-up to the management, we just found out from other people, not the lawyer. You know, we had connections with the various departments and personnel in this. So one of them even highlighted the fact that your case is actually been concluded by way of a consent order. Now that consent order, each one of us will ask ourselves.
Another retiree, Aaron Masinja, has described the continued delay as unjust and disheartening. He says there is no way the company continues to hold on to their dues even after the court ruled in their favor.
It is very shameful. Some of these lawyers are snakes. They just want some money. They're going to help other people who are in need. Please. We want the president to assist us. There was a time, 2019, even the president also, he promised us to say, no, if I come into power, this case, it has taken too long. Otherwise, these fire tenders, we are going to sell them. This is what he said. We're going to sell them and pay you.
The employees even registered their displeasure with President Hakainde Hichilema before he assumed office, who promised to, after forming government, as is the case now, would have their issue attended to. However, this promise is yet to be actualized.
For 28 years plus, have been struggling to get that which belongs to them, which they work for, are not given an ear by those in office. The role of a government, when you assume office, as we will assume office soon ourselves, is to take responsibility. Is to take responsibility for the issues that happen before your time in office comes. Is to deal with issues like these that have been brought to us today by our colleagues representing ZSIC.
And Patrick Mumba expressed hope that the president will intervene and ensure justice is finally saved.
Manje tankhala tabe tingo enda taenda ko office taenda ko na ku state house. Chamene tipe mpancho kamba kuti ba president batimbelele ko chifundo chifazaka za ndapo zambiri. Kona ba lulu ba bambiri bamwalira. Mena kutinali kuika na last week. Kuyambira bamwila bamene anakambisana na ba HH office kuja pamene kwa UPND na bebe banamwali sono tizakhala kwanji ngati mamene tienda monse sati tandizo.
Meanwhile, governance expert and human rights advocate Wesley Mianda has urged government to aid the retirees.
Now that everything seems to be exhausted in this area, we are just here to appeal to the Republican president under the executive, because in critical situations like this one, it is only the president who can make the final decision. So we are appealing to him. We are reminding him actually that the people that interacted with some years back, 2019, up to today, they've not received anything. Their issue is too complicated, and it calls for his attention, discretion, to see how best he can come in and assist these citizens, because they've already contributed to the welfare of Zambia State Insurance Corporation.
Their hopes now resting on a presidential intervention, these retirees continue to wait for money they earned and justice they were promised. Chanda Mwango for Camnet News in Lusaka.
The Resident Doctors Association of Zambia, RDSZ, has announced that all unemployed resident doctors serving on a voluntary basis in public health facilities will withdraw their services effective Monday, 2nd June 2025. The decision comes amid growing frustration over what the association has described as the government's persistent failure to address the issue of unpaid medical labor. RDSZ President Dr. Paul Chiwe says the association had taken the decision after extensive internal consultations, citing the unstable nature of relying on unpaid doctors to provide essential health services. He revealed that over 50% of public hospitals currently depend on volunteer resident doctors to maintain operations, a situation he described as deeply troubling and exploitative. He noted that while the doctors are willing to serve, the absence of formal employment and fair compensation undermines both their rights and the integrity of the healthcare system. Dr. Chiwe reiterated RDSZ's commitment to dialogue and called on government stakeholders to prioritize the matter to prevent further strain on the health sector. The Zambia Police Service has dismissed a viral video circulating on social media alleging that a baby was dumped in Kampiru Porsche, describing the content as false and misleading. The video, which sparked public concern and speculation, claimed that an unidentified woman was handed a baby by a passerby, implying that the child had been abandoned. However, investigations conducted by the police have revealed that the woman seen in the video is actually the biological mother of the child. Police Public Relations Officer Ray Hamonga says the woman was using the child as part of a deceptive scheme to solicit money from unsuspected members of the public.
Zambia Police Service wishes to categorically dispel a video circulating on social media purporting that a known woman in Kaplimposhi was given a baby by a passerby and that the child had been dumped. The said video has caused unnecessary public alarm and concern. Following thorough investigations, we can confirm that the woman seen in the video is in fact the biological mother of the child. Further inquiries have revealed that she had been using the child as a tool to solicit for alms from unsuspecting members of the public by fabricating false stories of child abandonment. We wish to sternly warn members of the public against the circulation of unverified and misleading content on social media platforms. Such acts are not only irresponsible, but also have the potential to cause public panic and divert police attention from genuine cases requiring intervention. The Zambia Police Service remains committed to maintaining public safety and order. Anyone found deliberately spreading false information intended to mislead or alarm the public will be dealt with in accordance with the law. We urge the public to always exercise due diligence before sharing content online and to report suspicious incidents through appropriate and verified channels.
Economist Kelvin Chisanga noted that the Bank of Zambia's decision to maintain the monetary policy rate is a strategic move intended to assess the impact of prevailing economic conditions. In an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Chisanga explained that the decision comes amid a reduction in key economic risk factors observed in recent months alongside the anticipated bumper harvest of maize, which is expected to stabilize food supply and support inflation control efforts. He further highlighted that the country's relatively sustainable inflation levels have contributed to the central bank's decision to maintain the policy rate as authorities monitor whether current measures are yielding desired outcomes.
The policy which was set last week responding to staying on the course of the current 14.5% is simply coming to the current prevailing conditions of the economy. Especially when we have seen that we have made reduction on the potential risk factors that the economy has been commanding all along from the previous months, and also strong compounding with the case to do with the likable situation of having bumper harvest speaking into 3.6 million metric tons. So this actually balances the factors into what we are able to see, especially when we look at the likelihood situation in regards to inflation. If inflation was actually having the spikes, we would have seen the monetary policy going toward the increment as well. But since there is that balance of risk which we are able to see, where we are able also to standing with an expectation to say that inflation will be able to tutor toward the single digits, which is actually a policy corridor of 6 to 8. That speaks of some good moderation. So what we are able to see in the kind of setup with the monetary policy that will be able to maintain the credit basket as it has also been pegged with that interest rate. So we will not be able to see any sharp changes in the loan portfolio and performances. And what we'll be able to see that we'll see that the credit basket, anchoring within manageable and acceptable terms. So what we also be able to see from this situation is that we also stabilize a number of expectations.
The Democratic National Party, DNP, has accused the government of neglecting the pressing needs of Zambians, citing the continued rise in the cost of living and worsening poverty levels across the country. Speaking in an interview with Camnet News, DNP President Sidney Chiabi said the increasing economic hardships facing citizens is a clear indication that the ruling United Party for National Development, UPND, has failed to effectively manage the country. He noted that many Zambians are struggling to meet basic needs due to poor economic performance and lack of policy direction. Mr. Chiabi urged the government to prioritize the stabilization of key economic enablers such as fuel, energy and fertilizer in order to ease the burden on households and stimulate economic activity.
We expect government which significantly prioritize the needs of its citizens by looking at the welfare. In Zambia, majority of our people, around 80%, are impoverished, living below poverty line. The majority of people are highly unemployed. So, government food should have been reasonable price to be afforded by all, by ensuring that if they can never sort out and mitigate the effect of economic catalysts, which are fuel, energy and fertilizer, they could have put money to ensure that they fund the subsidies. They provide subsidies to the mill, or they subsidize at production, or they subsidize by putting our taxpayers' money into subsidies, so that mill at least a 25 bag of kg is costing even 150 kwacha, so that at least everyone can afford, so that they mitigate this. They should have also worked tirelessly to ensure that there is no load shedding, which is causing production to go up. The price of fuel, they should have removed its taxes immediately. They should move. They should have find immediate solutions that can help to ensure that they stabilize the price of commodities. People are living in urban areas, they are starving, most of them. They don't have where to work, and the cost of living is around above 10,000 kwacha. How many Zambians get that in a month? So it's difficult. Government should have concentrated all these monies with social cash transfer, cash for work, all these small milestones they do, all this CDF, whatever. They should pull the money to provide subsidies so that the food prices drastically reduce, so that poverty reduces and people are able to afford to buy our staple food.
The Radiation Protection Authority, RPA, has challenged media practitioners in Lusaka to adequately report on issues relating to ionizing radiation in the country. This follows the conclusion of a 3-day media training workshop, which brought together journalists from various public, private and online media institutions. The workshop, which ended today, aimed to build the capacity of media professionals in understanding and accurately communicating radiation-related information. Participants were awarded certificates upon completion of the program. Our PM Manager Technical Services, Chishinga Mulenga, said the training was part of the ongoing efforts to strengthen responsible journalism in technical areas such as radiation science. He noted that journalists play a vital role in ensuring that the public receives credible, timely and clear information during radiation-related incidents and in everyday awareness efforts.
Zambian media is more than ready to take on the challenge of being informed guardians of public understanding. To our experts, facilitators and trainers, thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge and for demystifying the complex scientific concepts. Your contributions have helped bridge the gap that too often separates technical experts from the public, and that bridge is built on trust, understanding and dialogue. Let me also take a moment to acknowledge the organizing team whose tireless work behind the scenes made this training a success. Ladies and gentlemen, the end of this workshop is not the end of our journey, it is only the beginning. We now count on you, our partners in the media, to use the knowledge gained here to report responsibly, ask the right questions, challenge misinformation, and build public trust during both calm and crisis. The Radiation Protection Authority remains committed to working with you. We envision a sustained partnership, one in which science and journalism work hand in hand for the benefit of our people and the environment. In closing, let me say this: information saves lives, but only when it is accurate, timely, and responsibly delivered. Let us continue to grow together in this shared responsibility. I wish you all safe travels, continued success in your work, and most of all, the courage to seek truth and share it wisely.
A 19-year-old Bangladesh national has been arrested and convicted for illegally entering Zambia and residing in the country without proper documentation. The suspect, identified as Ali D. Sohag, was apprehended on April 4, 2025 in Luangwa district by immigration officers following a tip-off from a concerned member of the public. Investigations revealed that Mr. Sohag had entered Zambia through an unauthorized entry point, deliberately avoiding immigration checkpoints. He failed to present himself before an immigration officer as required by the law and did not possess any documentation to support his stay in the country. On May 28, 2025, the Lusaka Magistrate Court convicted and sentenced him to pay a fine of 150,000 kwacha or face 9 months of simple imprisonment. In other news, Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Mwetwa has dismissed social media allegations claiming that President Hakainde Hichilema demanded visa application fee refunds from the European Union and the United Kingdom. Speaking during a government media engagement held earlier today, Mr. Mwetwa clarified that neither the President nor any other government official has issued such a demand, describing the claims as false and misleading. He urged members of the public to verify information through credible and official government channels before circulating it, warning that the spread of misinformation poses a threat to diplomatic relations and public trust. Mr. Mwetwa reaffirmed Zambia's commitment to maintaining strong, respectful ties with its international partners and emphasized that the government remains guided by facts and formal diplomatic protocols.
As government of the Republic of Zambia, we have taken note that a video and or audio is circulating on social media and now being quoted and referred to across the globe, particularly the Western countries, where as contained in that video and or audio, there is a statement which purports that the President for the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, has issued statements and or taken a stand against the Western jurisdictions relating to refund of visa fees that have been paid. So, I wish to indicate that President Hakainde Hichilema did not demand visa refunds from the EU and the UK. Over the past several days, both continental mainstream and social media platforms have been inundated with reports alleging that His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema has demanded that the European Union and the United Kingdom refund visa application fees for all rejected Zambian applicants. These claims have gained particular traction on several international platforms. While we do appreciate that those sharing and endorsing these claims or assertions may be motivated by genuine concerns about the financial burden faced by visa applicants, the government of the Republic of Zambia wishes to categorically clarify that at no time has the head of state for Zambia, President Hakainde Hichilema, or any government official representative of the Zambian government made such a statement and/or demand. We respectfully, therefore, urge the public to exercise caution and verify information through credible and official channels before treating it as fact.
Stakeholders in Muchinga province have anonymously endorsed the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill 2025 during a multi-stakeholder engagement meeting held in Chinsali. The consultative meeting was led by Minister of Justice Princess Kasune and Muchinga Province Permanent Secretary Reverend Matthews Chilekwa. Participants included traditional leaders, the clergy, civil society organizations, youth advocates, and the media. The proposed amendments, which include a proportional representation system, were widely supported for their potential to increase inclusivity and strengthen Zambia's democratic governance. Key provisions under the bill include the reservation of 20 parliamentary seats for women, 12 for youth, and 3 for persons with disabilities. Ms. Kasune reaffirmed the government's commitment to inclusive constitutional reform, describing the bill as a transformative step that responds to long-standing governance challenges. She emphasized that the bill had been gazetted on 23rd May 2025 and that the public now has 30 days to submit views in line with Article 79 of the Constitution. Kayema Member of Parliament Kapelwa Bangweta has assured residents to support the current government for them to continue to see more development in the area. The Member of Parliament Bangweta says long time people used to go to Kaoma whenever they lost their loved ones due to lack of mortuary facility in the area, which is now a thing of the past as now people are able to access the facility in the area. He further said today Kayema Town Council has completed the construction and handed over a theatre to reduce the long distance they used to encounter. Bangweta further assured residents that government's policy of improving people's lives through the utilization of the Constituents Development Fund is realized in Kayema district.
In order to reduce the long distances some residents of Kayema district used to cover to access health services from Kaoma District Hospital, Mangango and Rampa hospitals, Kayema Town Council has completed the construction and handed over of a theatre building at the Kayema Zonal Clinic using 2023 Constituency Development Fund at a total cost of 750,000 kwacha. And Western Province Provincial Minister Kapelwa Bangweta graced the handing over ceremony and urged the council to work extra hard on the approved 2025 CDF projects to be completed on time.
We used to go to Kaoma whenever we had a bereavement because we did not have a mortuary. The first step was done with our partners to put a mortuary here, which reduced a lot of costs, a lot of grief and emotions. We are now going to have a theatre. We want to encourage you that for the projects we have approved for 2025, please work very hard and ensure that we finish them on time.
Others who spoke are Kayema District Commissioner Ellis Mukubesa and Western Province Acting Health Director Dr. Loveday Mwila.
This project, the coming of this theatre, we are so grateful that it will alleviate all the challenges our people were facing here in Kayema.
The other mandate, guest of honor that we have as the Ministry of Health is, which is given to us by the government of Zambia, is to ensure that we achieve the universal health coverage. This can only be achieved if measures are put in place to ensure that health care services are brought as close to the people as possible.
Meanwhile, some community members spoken to appreciated the gesture, stating that the completion of the theatre building in the area will reduce the long distances they used to cover.
kabakala kultusala nababota nabo nabasakoni kuyanka kakaoma mapaleli ke amangata sulu mwakulobe abanana nako yali mango ayifita abanana balobe aholo nako kulumatiseze kwa kaoma kufumana kwa kaoma pe x-ray yakuna esikoli kuya kwalwa mpema luitumeza uluka kulifieta katusa batu abangata kakulifano lunyanda luli kunyanda wa kunyanda luli kwa kaoma niko na fieta hakuna ishwile x-ray ishwile konji lwampa chwalefa lupilile.
In attendance at the handing over ceremony are Kehema Council Chairperson Rayford Chitoti, Kehema District Health Director Dr. Simoni Mundemba, party officials among stakeholders. Musevo Kabila, Camnet News, Kehema District Western Province.
You're watching the main news on Camnet TV. We now take a set of commercials. I will be back with the rest of the news after the break. Keep watching.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palabana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Every Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, midday news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In Forgotten Stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. Remember, you are watching us live on Topstar Channel 106 on Kenstream app, on Facebook, Camnet TV, and on our YouTube channel, Camnet TV. For the rest of the news, in international news, a South African woman has been sentenced to life imprisonment after being found guilty of selling her 6-year-old daughter in a case that drew national outrage. Raquel Chantel Smith, known as Kelly Smith, was sentenced alongside her boyfriend, Jaquim Apollis, and their associate, Steveno Van Rijn. All three were handed life sentences for human trafficking, in addition to 10-year terms each for kidnapping. The verdict was delivered by Judge Nathan Erasmus in Saldanha Bar, where the trial was relocated to a local sports center to accommodate members of the public. The case centers on the disappearance of Smith's daughter, Jocelyn, in February 2024. The child's vanishing triggered a widespread national search. Here is a roundup of international news.
A federal judge in the United States has extended a temporary restraining order on government efforts to bar Harvard University from enrolling international students. Earlier this month, the Trump administration revoked Harvard's certification under a student visitor program. The university sued, and for now, Judge Alison Burroughs has ruled that the status quo should be maintained until parties submit further proposals for consideration. This is President Trump's latest salvo against America's oldest university. He has previously frozen billions of dollars in funding and threatened to revoke Harvard's tax-exempt status. Trump has accused elite universities of being havens for Marxist maniacs and lunatics. 11 Sudanese migrants and a Libyan driver are dead after their vehicle collided with a truck in the Libyan desert early on Friday morning. The crash, 90 kilometers north of the Libyan town of Kufra, is the latest tragedy involving Sudanese fleeing the civil war in their home country. Earlier this month, 7 Sudanese were found dead after their vehicle broke down in the desert, leaving 34 migrants on board, stranded for several days. Libya has become a transit point for migrants fleeing war and poverty in Africa and the Middle East to seek better lives in Europe. The country shares borders with 6 nations and has a long coastline along the Mediterranean. Thousands of Sudanese have fled to Libya in the last 2 years after civil war broke out in their country, killing thousands, displacing more than 14 million, and pushing parts of the country into famine.
A South African woman has been sentenced to life in prison for selling a 6-year-old daughter in a case that shocked the nation. Kelly Smith, whose full name is Raquel Chantel Smith, was sentenced alongside her boyfriend, Jaquim Apollis, and their friend, Steveno Van Rijn. All three received life sentences for human trafficking and an additional 10 years each for kidnapping. Went missing in February 2024, sparking a nationwide search. Initially, Smith was seen as a victim, with many community members rallying to help police search for the young girl near their poor neighborhood close to Saldanha Bay. However, the case took a dark turn when Smith was arrested. During the trial, a witness testified that Smith admitted to selling her daughter along with the 2 men for about $1,000 to a traditional healer who sought the child for her body parts. The judge's verdict did not clarify who the child was sold to or what exactly happened to her, but confirmed she was sold for slavery or practices akin to slavery. To this date, Jocelyn remains missing.
Zambia's national women's team captain Barbara Banda has expressed pride in leading the Copper Queens at this year's COSAFA Women's Championship in South Africa. Speaking on the sidelines of the team's training session, Banda described the upcoming fixtures, particularly against Botswana and host South Africa, as valuable tests against strong opponents. She emphasized the importance of such high-quality matches in building the team's readiness for the 2025 Women's Africa Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON in Morocco. Banda also encouraged her teammates to maintain focus and give their best on the pitch, stating that hard work and determination would be key to securing victories in the regional tournament. The Copper Queens are set to face Botswana on Saturday, May 31st, before taking on South Africa in Pretoria on June 3rd.
Yeah, honestly, good feeling being back with the team and being part of the team. What's important is we always appreciate to represent our country and Africa at large. Well, so exciting, and to hear that it's history, I think it's just to keep on focusing on what I love doing and keep on making history. Well, I would say a very tight game because looking at the teams that we're going to play with, every team now has improved, and Botswana is a very good team, so we're looking forward for the friendly games. It's a hint for us and a good preparation for us going into the WAFCON. We are playing Botswana and South Africa, which are all good teams, good players, good quality, so it's a good three-nation tournament. Well, it always feels great to play with the best. They won their WAFCON, so they are the best, so I always feel good to play the best because I always want to learn from the best, so it's a good game for me. I think this game is gonna help us to prepare adequately because like I said earlier on, they're good teams, so it gives us on how we're gonna perform at the WAFCON, and the preparation starts now, so we have to take each and every game very serious because every team there is and we are being in a tough group, so preparation has to start now.
Your message to your teammates?
Well, it's to keep on encouraging each other, keep pushing each other, and fight together as one team, as Copper Queens.
All the best to the Copper Queens. Well, that's it for our main news tonight. Here's a recap of the stories making headlines. Former ZSIC employees still in limbo as not even a penny of their dues has been paid. No more pro bono services, resident doctors threaten to down tools. Economist says BO's hoarding policy rate aimed at testing economic stability. In international news, South African woman sentenced to life for trafficking her 6-year-old daughter. And in sports news, Copper Queens captain Barbara Banda eager for COSAFA challenge. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day coming from the book of Zephaniah 3 verse 17. The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save, he will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love, he will joy over thee with singing. That's it. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Good night and God bless you all.
all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms, Camnet TV, not just another channel.